Hello everyone, this is Stephen Gilb and thank you so much for viewing this video. This is the first in a series of videos I hope to hopefully put out on a weekly basis. Um, I've decided to title this series My Musical Journey, and in it I want to share the insights, experiences, and lessons that have come about on this journey, which for me started at childhood and is still very much underway today. And I do this in hopes of encouraging and inspiring those who are seeking to grow somehow musically, whether it be with singing, recording, or learning new instruments, what have you. I feel I have a lot that I can share, and I'm still learning a lot too. So I'll be sharing new knowledge as I go acquiring it. I'm not trying to come across as an expert about music, and I'm not going to claim to know everything because I really don't, obviously. And this is an ongoing process for me. But I do hope these videos will be a blessing to those viewing them. And I'm fortunate to belong to a couple of online groups, uh, specifically for musicians, and I learn a lot from them, as well as offer some of them the insight that I can on certain things they ask about having to do with music. Now, I'm going to try not to make these videos too long, as I don't want to bore anybody or put anyone to sleep. But I would like to mention that as you go watching them, please feel free to comment with any feedback you might have, and by all means, any questions you may have about what is being said, or even other things you're interested in knowing about related to music, because who knows, you may end up giving me ideas for future episodes. Now, this being the introductory episode, I want to give a bit of background into my musical life. I've been blind since birth, and among many other blessings, I'm fortunate to have been raised in a very musical family. My parents and my brothers are all very musically inclined. My mother is in heaven now, bless her soul, but she faithfully imparted to me all the musical skills she had. She had a beautiful voice and loved to sing and hum, and she also imparted to me the basic guitar knowledge she had, and my two brothers, my two older brothers and my father had even more knowledge that they imparted to me. And throughout my life, I ran into other people who taught me not only further guitar skills, but different instruments as well. Um, I play several instruments. To name them, play guitar, acoustic and electric. I play keyboard, drums, bass, harmonica, and percussions, which include instruments like shakers, bongos, maracas, etc. Now, music has been largely a hobby for me. I have done some performing throughout my life. I've been in a few bands here and there, and I've played at a few weddings and parties and events like that. But a more memorable phase of my musical journey was regularly performing in nursing homes, singing for the residents with my guitar whilst living in Indiana. I did this quite regularly, and it was a very satisfying experience being able to brighten the days and nights of the residents of the nursing homes, many of whom need all the encouragement they can get. And I really enjoyed that. Besides that, music has been largely a hobby for me, and it's still my number one passion. I'm very grateful. Now, although uh, although I've had some training and I've met different people, as I said earlier, who offered me the insight they could about playing different instruments and stuff, a lot of it was very basic, and much of what I know today has been gained by ear. Uh, I've been blessed, and I thank God for this, with a very acute ear for music. I've had very little training with the piano, for example. I've had very little in the way of formal piano lessons, but I play by ear, and I'm still learning more and more every day. Now, one desire I had for the longest time, after learning to play all these instruments I just mentioned, was that I wanted to do multi-track recording, but being as I'm blind, it was hard to find an accessible way so that I could do this without assistance. For a while, when I was about 20 years old, my brother and I bought a Fostex 8-track digital recorder, which we used the best we could. Now, the thing about that was that I was not familiar with screen reading software, and besides that, this Fostex machine had none. So, therefore, my brother had to help with the operating side. Uh, he helped me operate the machine while I recorded most of the instruments and vocals. Of course, he pitched in with that too. And we had some good times recording. Now, I don't have any of my work saved. It was done on that machine. But it was not until around Thanksgiving last year, right before that, that I was able to learn about the use of GarageBand iOS. I had heard about it, but I just didn't decide to launch into it until last year. And the advantage I had was that I was already quite well versed in the use of Apple VoiceOver, the screen reader, which is found on all iPhones. So after deciding one day to just try and see how far I could get with it, I found myself recording multi-tracks. And I found this really easy thanks to VoiceOver. But one challenge that I ran into was that the sound quality of my recording was not great, since all I had to record into was the mic of my cell phone. And I was basically recording live, and all kinds of background noise around me was picked up. But my brother, bless his heart, found a way, after a little research, he found a solution for this. As a Christmas gift, he picked me up a device called an iRig, and on one end of it, you hook up a USB cable that goes into the iPhone, and to the other end, you hook up whatever musical instrument you want to record. It can even be a microphone for recording vocals. Uh, but you can hook up a keyboard, an electric or acoustic electric guitar, just anything as long as it has a pickup. And so he got me this, and I tried using it right away, and I was amazed at the sound quality. Um, it was really clear and really professional, um, totally free of background noise. Um, I hadn't tried recording, or rather, I didn't try recording vocals with it right away, but tried recording with my keyboard and my guitars, and subsequently with vocals, and I was just amazed at the sound. And I've gotten better at this every day. And all the songs you hear on this channel, which, by the way, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to this channel and who have been listening to and commenting on the music on here. And all the music you've heard on this channel has been recorded with the iRig. Now, to conclude this video, I want to offer a couple of tips to aspiring musicians, producers, singers, whatever you may be. First off, it's important that whatever it is we're working towards musically, uh, that we not get so caught up in the tedium that we grow weary of it. Now, to uh, the solution for overcoming that weariness, which often creeps up, is to focus on the goal we're trying to reach and imagine ourselves having reached it, and that'll give us the motivation and the inertia that we need to continue until we actually reach it. I found this very useful as I was learning guitar because when I was 6 years old, my brother handed me a guitar for the first time and tried to teach me the different finger positions for the chords. But first of all, I didn't like the way it felt having to press the strings as hard as I could in order to get the proper sound, and I also didn't like having to remember all these different finger positions. So after a while, I gave up trying, and I didn't pick it up again until about 6 years later, when I was 12 years old. And by that time, I was really determined to learn guitar. So I stuck with it, even though at times it was tedious. But my parents and my brothers were very patient and very faithful to teach me and encourage me. The same with others who also helped me grow in my guitar skills. And I implemented this advice I just shared of focusing on the goal, and it helped me get to where I am today, and it's still helping me to learn even more things. And the other point I want to share is that whatever it is we're doing, whether we're learning something new or practicing or producing, regardless of how much work it can be, we shouldn't lose sight of the fun of it. It's easy to lose that high, you know, while we get wrapped up in the effort of what we're doing. But now, for me, specifically when I'm producing a song, for example, it really helps as I'm in the process of laying down each track and trying to get it right, and then mixing it, mixing the song, trying to get each track at the proper level. It's important that I not lose sight of the enjoyment of it. Because for me, mixing is really fun. It just gets a little tedious. Well, production in general is really fun. It just gets a bit tedious and it's a lot of effort at times, but using the advice that I mentioned above, implementing that really makes a difference and helps it helps the project, whatever it is, to remain fun and exciting. So I do hope this first episode has been a blessing for you, and please comment on it. I look forward to hearing your insights, and I'll see you next week for another one. Bye now.